Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. The following seminar is brought to you by nonprofit organization iExplore. We are dedicated to providing an extensive study and communication online platform for students around the world. We have over 80 teachers from multiple countries and over 500 students globally. iExplore provides free online classes and seminars to allow kids to learn and explore. In addition to this, our teachers encourage their students to harness creativity and develop critical thinking skills, allowing them to take their ideas to new heights, which is our motto here at iExplore through our innovative class curriculums. I am honored to be introducing our seminar presenter today, Susanna. She will be telling us all about web page design. As a 10th grader, she is a stellar student with many passions, among which are computer science and teaching. I'm going to hand it off to Susanna now.
Okay, so today I will be using Drupal. There are a lot more other options, but I just prefer to use Drupal. So Drupal is an open source content managing software. So it's also known as a CMS. It was first released in 2001, and it's one of the first CMS actually. So right now the current version is Drupal 9, which was just released a few weeks ago on June 17th, but I would recommend you guys still stick with Drupal 8 because there's a lot of themes or modules that are not available for Drupal 9 yet due to the fact it's a little too new. So even though there are many parts of Drupal that are beginner friendly, I would suggest that probably want some more background experience before using Drupal because some of it might not be beginner friendly. Okay. So there are obviously other CMS platforms, and they include WordPress, Joomla, CMS Made Simple, and Impress CMS. But the big three are WordPress, Drupal, and Joomla. I would highly recommend WordPress for now for beginners, especially because it's really easy to manipulate. Drupal is harder as seen in this comparison chart, and Joomla is also one. A lot of websites use these, for example, these websites. And if I have time, I'll show you guys how you could find the CMS a website uses. So there's some things to consider when making a website. So first, you want to consider the question, what is the purpose of your website? Who is your target audience? And what do you want to accomplish with your website? So keep these questions in mind when developing a website because it kind of sets up the style you want for your website. So downloading Drupal, there's many ways you could download Drupal. I only listed some of them, but here, if you have Windows or Mac OS, you guys can choose to use Acquia or MAMP, but both are great softwares, but your computer might favor one over the other, especially when it comes to Mac OS. I think Mac likes MAMP more than Acquia. That's from my experience. Might be different for you guys, but something to keep in mind. And if you guys have an Ubuntu system, you guys could run it in the terminal with some Linux commands. Because we only have 1 hour here, I'm not going to show you guys how this works because the download process can take from 5 minutes to 40 minutes, and I don't want to waste the time here. Okay, so inferring that you guys downloaded or finished downloading your website, I will show you guys this. So once you finish installing, you'll see this page. It looks pretty simple, and we're going to add things on it to make it more complex. So the first thing to notice over here, this is called the admin menu. And the admin menu consists of multiple menus, and of these are content, structure, appearance, extend, configuration, people, reports, and help. We're gonna focus on content, structure, and config today. The other ones we don't quite need, but they are really helpful. Okay, so when you open up your website, the first thing you want to do is configure your site name and the other basic site settings. So you go to configuration. First, you go to basic site settings. And then I obviously do not want my site name to be Drupal site. Since I'm going to make my website a little like a recipe website, so I'm just going to change it to recipe website. And then the slogan is basically like a motto or something like that. I will choose, I already have mine pre-made, so yeah. The email address, you can use any email address because this is on your local computer server. It's not actually going to send any emails out, so you could just put any email addresses. And then I will do this later, but you can also set your front page and your error pages. I'm just going to do save config for now. Okay, I'm going to go back to site. Okay, so I already went over this. Okay, so the next step we want to do is set a theme for your background for your website. A theme is kind of like a template, and it's one of the most powerful components of Drupal. And especially for beginners, we oftentimes tend to focus on the templates too much. So a great hint or tip is don't spend too much picking a theme, because you want to focus on the content more than the theme. And when you pick a theme, you also want to think of the questions of the 3 questions I asked earlier. Who is your audience? What do you want your audience to get out of your website? And what is the purpose of your website? So in order to install a theme, there's a lot of themes. I'm just going to copy this over here. Make sure to choose a theme that matches your version. So if it's Drupal 8, choose one that matches Drupal 8. Don't choose a theme for Drupal 7 if you downloaded Drupal 8, because it's not going to work at all. So in order to set your theme in place, you need to put the theme folder into the actual file. So I downloaded my theme ahead of time. I used Mayo. Mayo is one of the, it's a really good theme. It's also very stable, so there's not going to be any fixes. So I'm just going to extract this. You want to extract this to the theme folder of your site. So I already pinned it, but here, select folder, and I'm going to extract there. So the few default sites, default themes are Bartik and 7 and Stark. I just downloaded this, so now it appears. And I'm going to click install and set as default. Just got installed. And if I go back, so yeah, just don't spend too much time looking for a theme. Maybe check for like the stability and yeah, okay. Okay, so once we have installed the theme, you want to go look at your appearance settings. This will be different for different themes, especially some are more, some you could customize a lot more things. Like Mayo, you could customize a lot of things, but Bartik, the default one doesn't allow you to customize much. So the 3 main things you want to customize are the color scheme, basically the background colors and stuff like that. Your logo image, basically the image that appears next to your title, and the favicon, which is the logo that appears next to the title in the tab. So you can do this by going to appearance, and you could go to settings. The setting will be different depending on which theme you use. For example, if you use Bartik, this looks a lot less complex than this over here, obviously, because there's more things to customize. I have my colors chosen already, so I'm just gonna copy and paste them in. So the base background is basically your main background. This page background is basically what your content is going to be on. I'll talk more about this later. Header left. You could choose any color you want, but I already made this ahead of time. I already made my own templates, so I kind of know what I want to do. Change the page title background. Okay, so that's all I'm going to change. And as I mentioned, there's also a favicon and a logo section you want to change. To change it, just click on uncheck this. This means that you're using the default one it's given, so you want to uncheck that. I'm going to go to logo image. I'm going to uncheck this too. And I'm going to save. So this gives you a mini preview of what to expect. So now if I go back, notice how this icon is no longer the blue icon, and this is no longer the water droplet. So those are the 3 things you want to change in appearance settings. So now we're going to go to content types. Content is basically a piece of information you want to display on your web page. And content types are probably one of the most useful things in Drupal. And Drupal is actually known for the way they organize your content types. So if you see the default content types, the default content types, you have article and basic page. We're going to explore the differences between them, but I'm going to use basic page now for about page. Okay, so about page, I'm just going to put about me. You guys can put anything you want, but I would suggest you use a basic page for an about me here. And notice how in a basic page, you only have a title and a body. Keep this in mind. We're going to explore the article later. And another thing you can do is you want to change the URL alias. This is basically an alternate way users can access the site. So for this, I'm going to do /about. And then notice there's a revision logs. This is basically a comment for what you've edited. And I'm going to save this. You can also choose to preview, but I'm just going to save it. Okay, so this looks kind of plain, so I'm going to add an image. So I already chose my image ahead of time, so I'm going to put out. I'm going to center this, and I'll save it. And look how this image is a little too big. And one thing about Drupal is that you could use HTML and CSS to edit it. So I could just click full HTML, and I could click source. And over here, I could put 250 pixels. Hope that works. Okay. So now I could click save. And look, now I have an image and some content. So this is basically all you have for a basic page. Now we're going to explore an article. An article, you'll see some similarities and some differences. For instance, you still have your title block, you still have your basic, you still have your image block, but notice we're going to notice that there's going to be a tags option and there's going to be an image option, and there's also going to be a comment settings. And this is because an article, you can allow public discussion. For instance, it's kind of like a Q&A, so someone can ask a question and others can reply, stuff like that. So we're going to explore an article now. So I'm going to add a content. And this time I'm going to choose article instead of basic page. So I'll title this why is important. Okay, and I'm going to choose this directory to eat healthy. And there's also this option to promote your article on the front page. I'm going to deselect this for now, as we will see later why. And here's the comment settings I was talking about. You can choose to open or close the comments. I will choose to open it. And I'll click save. Now I have a whole article, and then I have a comment. But then notice how if I go back here, here's tags and here's an image. Tags are kind of like a way to organize things. I'm going to talk about it later. So I'm just going to put the tag as health. I'm going to choose an image. But I'm going to choose my image first. Okay, so as seen in a basic page, we had to physically put an image within the within the body, but we don't need to do it for article because it has a separate field. So I'm just going to call this food pyramid. Boom. Okay, so here is the image, here is the article, and here you have the title. Okay. So now that we created 2 different links, there's no way for our users to access it besides physically typing in the URL, and that it's not very user friendly. So I'm going to fix this by creating menus. But before we create a menu, I want the about page we just created to be our front page. And that's when we could go back to config. Go to config, and we could go to basic site settings. And the front page, notice how it says /node. I'll talk about the node page later, but I want to change this to /about. And now if I go to the front page, the about me page should show. Now I want to also create a way for users to access the other pages. So I'm going to create a menu, and you can access this by clicking structure, menus. And what we're going to do is we're going to edit the main navigation menu. We're going to add link. And then we already have one for our about us page, so I'm going to create one called why healthy. And then this, I'm just going to call it eat healthy. This is the same link I used for the article. So I'm just going to leave these settings as is for now, and I'm going to click save for now. But look, our menu is still not here. This is because we haven't incorporated the menu in the block layout. So in order to do that, we go back to Manage Structure, and we're going to go to Block Layout. I think I'm going to talk about this a little later about the block regions, but I'm just going to choose Menu Bar here, Main, Navigation, Place Block. And I'm going to keep these settings for now. These basically allow tell when this menu is visible and when this menu is not visible. So I'm just gonna click Save Block for now. And our menu should show if I go back to the website. So yes, our menu did show. So if I click Why Healthy Diet, this page should show. If I click Home, this page should show. Okay, so I think I mentioned tags earlier, and tags are a taxonomy, and it's one of Drupal's core modules. Taxonomy is basically a way to organize terms in Drupal into categories. It basically organizes content with similar keywords, and this is helpful when especially when organizing links into one menu or in one page. So I'm gonna show this video. Basically, tells a little more about taxonomy because it is a confusing topic. It took me a while to understand.
Now that we have all of our content types and fields built, we need to add categorization. And that's where taxonomy comes in. Taxonomy is nothing more than categories. Going back to our IMDb illustration from earlier, you'll remember we had a movie genre field on our IMDb site. Well, here's the way it works in Drupal's taxonomy. Movie genre would be a vocabulary, and that's the term for the main category. And then in that vocabulary, you have terms. So on the screen, we've got action, adventure, comedy, drama, and romance. And then underneath comedy, we've got romantic, action, slapstick, and screwball. You can have unlimited nested categories or terms in a Drupal vocabulary or taxonomy. Now, here's one thing that I really think is important.
Okay, so that kind of just introduced taxonomy, and we're going to see it in action now. So in order to edit your taxonomy, you need to go to Structure. As I said earlier, it's a built-in module, so you could click Taxonomy. And the tags I want to create include the meal type and the level of spiciness, because those are important things to consider in a recipe. So my vocabulary will be spice level. Save this, and I'm gonna add term. So we have none. I'm just adding some terms right now. And I have hot spice. So now if I go back to here, I go back to taxonomy, you should notice that I have a new term called spice level. And if I go into spice level, there's multiple vocab. And here you could order this, you can order it the way you want to see it. Drupal orders it based on alphabetical order, but I'm gonna order it myself because I don't really want it to look like this. So I'm just gonna save this. And I also want to add another taxonomy vocab for the meal type. Okay, so you have your appetizers and snacks. And then you have your breakfast and brunch. And for desserts. Dinner. And then you have drinks. Yes, drinks is a meal type. Okay, so now when I go to taxonomy, I now have more than one vocabulary names, one at spice level and then one at meal type. Both of them I just added. Now if I go to meal type, I'm just gonna leave this as is, even though it's not ordered, but it's alphabetically ordered, and I like it this way, so I'm just gonna go back to site. Okay, so content types is a built-in module, also a built-in module in Drupal, and the default content types, as we just saw, are article and basic page, but you can also obviously create more. And creating content types is basically almost like making a template, or it is like making a template. You're basically just adding fields in, and these fields include text, images, video, dates, and comment, but there's obviously more. You can create your own. And then we can also connect a content type to our taxonomy by using the taxonomy field, which I will show you. So to create a content type, you just go to content types, and I'm going to create a content type. We want a third one. So I'm going to name my content type recipe, but obviously you have to name it according to what the purpose of this content is. So here are some settings. I'm going to keep this and publish to the front page. I'm going to keep all this. I'm going to deselect display author and date information because I don't want that to be displayed. Menu settings, I'm going to leave as is, and I'm going to save this. So now is when we want to add our fields. And I'm going to first start off with our taxonomy terms. So to link to a taxonomy term, you can just click this, reference taxonomy term. And the first one we did was spice level. So I'm just going to click that. And you can choose limited or unlimited terms because you can only have one spicy level of spiciness. I'm just going to create one term. And then I can create this required field. Help text is basically for the for other developers to know like what this is for. I'm going to leave this as blank because I'm the only developer on the site. And then the reference type, I'm going to reference it to spice level. This way it should show the levels of spiciness. I'm going to save settings here. And I'm going to do the same thing for meal type. I'm going to put limited to 1 for list 2. Is required. Click meal type. And I'm going to click save settings here. So I'm going to change this body to our to be labeled as recipe, because our main content we want is our physical recipes. So I'm just going to click edit. Now I'm going to edit this label, so it's called recipe, and put this as a required field. And I'm going to click save setting. And we're also going to put another body. I can call this dish description, because when you make a dish, there's always a description of the dish, so it could catch the eye of your audience. I'm gonna put this as a required field. I'm gonna add another called cook time. I'm gonna limit this to 20 because you don't need to put that many characters. And the last one I'm gonna put is comments. This way, our audience can come in and post any comments or questions they want for the page. Okay. I'll put this as required. Okay, now we can start creating our first content, or our third content now, which is a recipe. And to add a content, just click add content. And I already went over this. But notice how when I click add content, there's a third option called recipes. I'm just going to click recipes here. And I'm going to title this to be, sorry if this makes you hungry. And I'm going to copy the recipe. Okay, so here is my recipe. Spice level. Notice how this is a text box. There isn't really anything for us to select from. Like our spice levels from our taxonomy terms don't really appear here. So I can fix this easily by I'm gonna duplicate this tab. Okay, I'm gonna do this by doing something called manage display. So when managing this display, there's two options. One is manage form display, one is manage regular display. Manage form display basically manage the display of the form, like where you create your content. Right now, I'm gonna focus on manage form display. I'm gonna skip to manage display later. So the things to configure are the widget, which is the styling of the fields in the form. The label, you can choose to hide the label, move the label above, or you could choose to put the label like right next to it. Other styling options include the width, the length of the image, and there's a lot more, as you'll see. Now, I'm gonna go back to structure. I'm gonna go back to content types because that's where I created this. I'm gonna do manage form display. And the widgets I was talking about can be accessed in this column. And spice level, look how it's autocomplete. I want it to be selected from a list. And at the same time, you order it. So the order you see these fields can be different. So I'm gonna put dish description first, put this. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh this screen, but before we do it, notice how title is first and then recipe. But when I refresh the screen, title is first, but dish description is second. So that is one thing to do in form display. So I'm gonna go back. And I am going to copy this info here. And then spice level, notice how it's a menu now. So I could just create, I'll put it as low spice. Meal type, I'm gonna put it as dinner. Cook time, I'm gonna put as 40 minutes. And save. Okay, so notice how there's no image on here and I want to add an image. So what I can do is I could go back here, edit, manage fields, add field, and this field is going to be called image. And I'm just going to click dish image. So I'm going to keep this as is. Now this is here, so I could choose the image I want. And I'm going to click save. Okay, and here is our article. But notice how the order isn't really what we want it to be. So I'm going to change the order now by using manage display as mentioned here. Okay, so in manage display, you can manage your order. As we can see, you can enable and disable certain fields because this is a useful tool when you want certain fields to hide in certain parts, but you want it to show for other parts. So I'm gonna go here, put this as a required field, save. And I'm gonna click manage display. So the first thing to notice when you click on manage display is there's a default settings and there's a teaser settings. A default setting is basically what you're seeing right now. A teaser is kind of like a promo box. So I can show you this. Just click node. A node is basically a promo site, kind of. This is what a teaser is. So I'm gonna first edit the teaser because there's a lot less to edit here. A recipe, we don't want a recipe in a teaser, so we want to disable this. What we want is a dish image. We want the dish description. We probably want the cook time. We want the meal type. And this image size is basically this over here, and it's obviously too big. So we can edit it by kind of clicking settings. I'm gonna click large, see how that works. And now if I refresh the page, it's like this, but the comments are still up, so I don't want the comments. And I don't want labels for a dish image, so I'm gonna put this hidden. I want the dish description to be hidden too. I want the cook time to be inline, meal type to be inline, and I'm gonna save this. If I refresh, it looks like this, but I think I want to make this image smaller, so I'm going to click medium instead. So if I click refresh, this is our new teaser style. And now, since our content or our teaser is done, I'm going to work on our content type. So if I refresh this, still looks like this. There's obviously a lot we want to change, so I'm going to go over here, default. I'm going to put the dish image first instead. I'm going to put links here. I'm going to put the spice level here. You can organize this however you want. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's just however you think it's neat. Cook time, I'm going to put over here. Meal type, I'm going to put over here. And recipes and comments. And I think this is good. So I'm just going to click save. Okay, but then there's always these labels. I don't want the dish label to be here, so I'm just gonna click hidden, save. And this is all what we're gonna do for this content type. And from now on, we could add more. I'm just gonna add another recipe here. For this recipe, I'm gonna call this okay. Put salmon dish easy to prepare. You can obviously add more than this. I'm gonna put non-spicy for this meal type. I'm gonna put dinner again. Prep time, I'm gonna put 30 minutes. And image file, I'm gonna choose this. And I'm gonna change this salmon teriyaki. I'm gonna now this looks the same. This pretty much looks the same as the other one, except there's different images and different content types. And now if I click /node, it changes to a node. Notice how there's two boxes. There's one for salmon teriyaki, and there's one for stir fry shrimp. But again, there's no way for our audience to access that page without physically typing the site, and that's not user friendly. So I'm gonna add a menu link. Clicking menus, and I'm gonna edit main navigation. Now, click add link. I'm gonna click recipes here, link, and click node. A node is basically a page where all your articles or your content type is promoted. And then I'll click save. Back to site. Okay, so notice how there's this title over here. I don't want the title to show, so I could go to configure block, and I could just deselect the display title. Okay. Okay, so here is my new website. If I click Why Healthy Diet, it should show. If I click recipes, this should show. And notice how there's two blocks over here on the left. I want to have the search menu, but I don't want to have the tools menu. So I could go structure. This all relates to block layout. So different themes have different block layouts, and this can be seen by clicking on this. So the two blocks we just saw were in sidebar first. The content type, the content we just created is displayed over here. The menu bar is obviously displayed over here. And then there's other things we can put. I could click exit them. And I'm gonna go to sidebar first because that's where the two blocks were. I'm gonna disable this. I'm not gonna remove it because I might need it in the future. So I'm just gonna disable it for now. And I'm gonna save block. And here, our block has been saved. And remember how earlier I talked about taxonomy terms, how they help with organizing? So if I go back to recipes, and if I click on this, these two both link to a term. And if I click on dinner, this page basically brings up a page with all the articles that have meal type of dinner. this is a way for categorizing things as seen in the video earlier. And if I click on non-spicy here, it only shows the salmon teriyaki page because the other I put the other recipe as low spice, I think. So if I click on this page and if I click on low spice, it should bring me a page with only this. And I have a random home button over here. I don't really want it, so I could go here, structure, and go to block layout. And that is in the breadcrumb region, which is right over here. So I'm gonna click on breadcrumbs. I can control F it. Okay. I'm gonna disable this for now. I guess I'll end this with adding 2 more blocks. We can also create our own blocks. We don't need to add in other blocks. So I think the top over here is a little plain, so I think I could add something in it. So I just go back. The top is called, these 4 are the top blocks. So I'm gonna add my own block. And I'm gonna create an image. File. Align left. Save. I'm gonna call this save this here. I want this to be in the top column, so top first. I'm going to place another block called community. I'm going to add an image here. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to do so. I'm just going to click save, and now when I go back to my site, there's only one that's displaying because I haven't added the other one yet. So I'm going to click top second column because go back to site, and now I have 2 columns over here. This is how you can create a website from Drupal. I will show you how other famous websites that use Drupal right now. So if you use ncaa.org, so this site uses Drupal, but if you click on this, view page source, if you control F generator, you can see how this NCAA uses Drupal 7, and if I use a CMS detector, you can detect on which CMS a certain website uses. Not all websites have it publicly on display, but luckily CAA has it. So I hope you guys learned something from this seminar, and I can't wait to see you guys what you guys develop. And that's all from me.
All right. I just want to say thank you so much, Susanna, for that awesome seminar. It was pretty amazing to see you build that webpage right in front of us. So again, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And we will have more seminars in the future. Actually, tomorrow we're going to have a seminar about the topic of bullying hosted by Doris and Emily, and instructions will be posted, and so be sure to join us tomorrow for that. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, either type it down in the chat or scan the QR code on the screen right now and ask your questions through there. So does anyone have any questions? All right, so if you have one and then come up with anyone, just scan the QR code on the screen right now and ask it. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much, Susanna, for presenting that awesome seminar. And we will see you soon. Thank you.